everybody, so today I have a video for you that's honestly been on my to film list for probably the best part of a year. I've been waiting so long to do this and I'm not sure why. It's not a particularly fancy video, I'm just sitting here chatting with you today, but this is going to be all about my top 5 favourite foundations, and let me tell you, it was hard to only pick 5. That's probably why it's taken me so long to do this, because I try a lot of foundation. I try new products, things that I've just launched, and then I also have so many just sort of sitting in my drawer that I've loved in the past. So I think I have finally managed to culminate my 5 favourites. So these are just my must-have, can't live without. If all my makeup was stolen, I'd have to run out and buy these type foundations. These are mostly high-end, although there is one more affordable option here, but don't worry because I am going to be doing a top 5 budget foundations sometime this month, so you will see that really soon, because honestly there are so many amazing affordable options when it comes to foundation now. There definitely never used to be. I've kind of put these in order from lowest coverage to fullest. So I'm going to start off with the only tinted moisturiser option that I have included in this video. I wasn't sure whether to do a separate tinted moisturiser video. Let me know if you guys would like to see that, because obviously I'm a tinted moisturiser girl. Never thought I would actually be saying that, but honestly they're just what I reach for on a daily basis, and this one has to be the best of the bunch. Now it goes without saying this is probably the most expensive foundation I own, if not probably the most expensive makeup product I have altogether. It's from Chantecaille and it's the Just Skin Tinted Moisturiser, but honestly I think cost per wear and cost per enjoyment of wearing as well has just worked out to be pretty good for this one, because I love it. It does amazing things for my skin. It has a light coverage as you would expect with the tinted moisturiser, but something about it just really evens everything out. It's also very smoothing for the texture of your skin, so if you have larger pores, if you have uneven texture across your face, then this actually really helps with that too. It also has SPF 15 in it, which might not be too high, but for some people that is enough. I still like to put an SPF underneath it, but I find it's light enough that I can do that. So I can layer products underneath this, I can go for SPFs and primers and all that jazz, but it still feels very light on my skin. It's not sticky and it's not greasy whatsoever, but for my dry skin it is just enough to keep it moisturised. So this is probably my daily most used foundation. This is such a good one to try, so love that one. Next on the list I have a super throwback one, and I've been talking about this a little bit recently, and this is actually from Clinique. It's the Superbalanced makeup foundation. A little bit of trivia for you, this is actually the first high-end foundation I ever purchased many years ago when I was a lot younger, a lot more youthful. Fast forward about 10 years. Wow, that makes me feel very old. The only way I can describe it is that it kind of just goes onto your skin and you don't have to sit there and buff it. It doesn't take a long time to really work in, but it just kind of sinks in and looks so flawless and so much like your skin, but super perfected at the same time. And it's not a super full coverage foundation, it's definitely more of a light to medium type coverage, but it just makes you have that kind of glowy, fresh look, which I always find makes your skin look a lot more healthier and perfected and just better. So I think this one would be great if you don't like to wear a heavy foundation, but you still want something with just a little bit more coverage than your average kind of tinted moisturiser. And actually this one is designed for all skin types, which I remember being quite skeptical of in the past, but back then when I was first using it I had really oily skin, and it managed to really absorb any excess oil and keep my foundation on all day long. But now that I'm older and that my skin is a lot more dry, it really hydrates at the same time, so it's definitely good for kind of all skin types. So next on the list is my drugstore option, and a lot of you guys are probably expecting me to pull out Bourjois Healthy Mix, but I have to say it's been replaced. I have a new drugstore love, and this is from Rimmel. It's the Match Perfection foundation, and a lot of you guys will know how much I love the Match Perfection concealer. So this is more of a medium coverage. It definitely has a good solid medium coverage, and you can build it up to be a lot fuller as well if you need more coverage in certain areas, but it just looks like your skin. It's not dewy, but it's not matte either. It's somewhere right in the middle. It lasts for a really long time as well. So actually if I'm going out somewhere and I need to be away all day, I've been reaching for this, because I know I can depend on it to look as good as it does in the morning throughout the day and just last and last. I would kind of compare this a little bit to the Clinique one in that it just blends in so easily and it almost kind of just melts into your skin and looks so natural and so subtle, but still has such good coverage. Surprisingly enough, for a drugstore foundation, this also has a really great range of colours. Probably not as many as you would expect in a higher end foundation, but there's definitely a lot to choose from in this range. It's supposed to be a moisturising foundation, so it claims to have 24-hour hydration hydration, and I would kind of agree with that. Although it stays on for a really long time, it also keeps my skin very hydrated, which is great because there is nothing worse than a foundation staying on all day but kind of clinging to dry patches and just looking generally not very nice. So this lasts, but it lasts in a good way. So the next foundation I have is probably one that I've not used as much in recent months, but it's definitely one that I know I can rely on and that I always kind of stick in my makeup drawer in a place where I can see it just in case I want to wear it. And it's NARS Sheer Glow, and I've had this for a good couple of years now. I think this is actually my second bottle, but I've used it a lot, and there was a point in the past when I used this every single day. It was my go-to foundation, probably when my skin wasn't as good as it is now and I needed more coverage, because this does have a very medium to full coverage. So the name Sheer Glow is slightly misleading because it's definitely not sheer, it's definitely a slightly fuller foundation. It feels a little bit heavier on your skin. Once it's on your skin, it kind of sets down, and that is the thing that I remember really loving about this, because again, it's just one that's not going to budge. It's not going to go anywhere. If you're kind of concerned about your skin showing through your foundation and you want everything to look just really perfect all day, this is a good one to rely on because it honestly doesn't move. So for me, this has always been the one that gives full coverage but doesn't compromise on how amazing your skin looks. So definitely a very kind of core holy grail foundation for me, and one that I will probably always love. So last up, I have the fullest coverage option of everything that I'm talking about today, and one of my favourites. I just love this foundation, and it's from Charlotte Tilbury. Honestly, Charlotte Tilbury can do no wrong when it comes to makeup, when it comes to skincare. She just knows what's what, and she knows how to make a good product. So the Magic Foundation is one that I have talked about so many times. I featured it in quite a few different videos and tutorials, so I'm sure you guys are very familiar with this if you watch a lot of my videos. So I don't bring this out every single day, and actually I probably wear it the least of all of these, but it is the one that I pick out every single time I'm going to an event, or if I'm going somewhere really fancy. I want my skin to look perfect, if it's being photographed, if I'm kind of going to be on camera a lot. So I do think of this one as my special occasion foundation, and I'm sure everybody has that kind of product that they always bring out when there's a special occasion, when they want to look really good. So if I ever do get married, if Darren ever pops the question, I will be wearing this on my wedding day, I'm sure. And actually it's probably the foundation that I recommend the most to people. So whenever somebody asks me for a foundation that I love and that I would highly recommend, this is always the one that I go to. So in terms of the application and the wear time, this one is actually slightly different to a lot of the foundations I own, in that I always put it on and then leave it for 5 or 10 minutes because I kind of feel like it needs to set a little bit. It needs to kind of process and sink into my skin, but after that it just looks amazing, and it really sits and sets so well. And the actual finish of it is somewhere quite similar to the NARS foundation. It's got that nice kind of satin finish, so it's not matte but it's not really dewy either, and it just makes your skin look so super glowy, probably even more glowy than the NARS one. So that is the final foundation in my top 5. I honestly love all those, and I would love to know if you guys love those too, if any of those are your favourites, and also if you have any other recommendations for me, because I always like to try new foundations. Leave a comment down below with your absolute all-time holy grail favourite foundation, because I think that would be really interesting to see who has the same favourites and what everybody loves. And that is it for me today, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget as well, I will be doing a budget version of this in a few weeks time, so keep an eye out for that. And I'll see you all tomorrow for another instalment of I Covet June. I'm doing a video every single day, so make sure you're subscribed to see them all. What else do I need to say? Oh yeah, goodbye. Bye.